Okay guys, today we're going to be talking about linear equations and how to write the equation of a line. Okay, so yesterday we talked about slope of a line, we talked about how to find it from a graph and how to find it from 2 points. And now we're going to talk about two different ways that we can write the equation of a line, and that uses slope in it. So we'll talk about that some more as we get going. First one we're going to talk about is slope-intercept form. We write slope-intercept form as y equals mx plus b. Okay, so y equals mx plus b. This is extremely important. This is something you need to know. This will come up on my tests and quizzes, but it'll probably also be on benchmark tests and end of year test as well. So you need to make sure that you are paying attention to this and know the slope-intercept form and know how to use it. Like I said yesterday, when we talk about slope, we usually use the variable m. Okay, so m stands for slope. The name of this form is slope-intercept. So we have slope, which is m, and we have one other variable that stands for our y-intercept. Our y-intercept refers to the point at which the graph crosses on the y-axis. Okay, so this point means that x is going to be 0, and then we have a value for y, and that's our y-intercept. So if we look down at number 1, we're going to be using the information that we just talked about to write the linear equation in slope-intercept form. Okay, so number 1, we are given slope equals 2, and the y-intercept is -1. Okay, up at the top we talked about slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Okay, so we know we're going to have y equals, okay, m stands for slope, and we're told that our slope is 2, so we're going to have 2x plus whatever our y-intercept is, which is -1. When we have plus a negative number, we can just write that as minus. So you can leave it as plus -1, or you can write it y equals 2x minus 1. Okay, so we can look at this and we can see that our slope is 2 and our y-intercept is -1. So when you are working backwards and you're given the slope-intercept form, make sure you include the sign that is in front of each of those numbers. Alright, let's look at number 2. This one we have that slope is equal to -3/5 and the y-intercept is 4. So we have y equals -3/5 x plus 4. And that's our answer. We put our slope in where the m would be, and we put our 4 in where the b would be. Alright, let's look down at number 3. This one, we also have slope is -3 and our y-intercept is 2. So we just write that y equals -3x plus 2. And let's look down at number 4. Slope equals -1, y-intercept equals 7. So y equals -1x plus 7. You could write that as y equals -x plus 7, but it's not wrong if you write -1x. Another way that we can write the equation of a line is in standard form. Okay, so we write that ax plus by equals c. This one we don't use a ton because we prefer to have it in slope-intercept form or another form that we'll learn about later on. But we do need to know how to convert an equation from standard form to slope-intercept form. So that's what we're going to be working with today. So if we look down at number 1, we have 2x plus y equals 3. Okay. In slope-intercept form, we have y equals mx plus b. Okay. So we want to get y by itself on the left side. Okay, so in order to do that, we're going to have to rearrange our equation. We know how to do that. We've done that before. We've done that a lot when we're solving for specific variables. Okay, so we're going to be working to get y by itself. So looking at number 1, we have 2x plus y equals 3. So the first thing that we want to do is move this 2x to the other side. Okay, so to do that, we're just going to subtract 2x on both sides. So 2x minus 2x cancels out, so we bring down the y. I'm going to go ahead and write negative 2x here plus 3. Okay, so if we look, that looks a lot like our slope-intercept, right? We have y equals mx plus b, or negative 2x plus 3. Okay, so that one is done. We have our answer. Let's look at number 2. So we have 4x plus 5y equals negative 30. We want to get y by itself, so the first thing we need to do is get rid of this 4x. So we're going to subtract 4x on both sides. So 4x minus 4x cancels out, goes to 0. So we bring down 5y. So we have 5y equals negative 4x minus 30. Okay, is y by itself? No, we have to divide by 5 to get y by itself. Okay, so we're going to have negative 4 over 5x minus 30 over 5. Okay, can either of those simplify down? Negative 4 over 5 stays the same, so we leave that. Y equals negative 4 over 5x. But 30 over 5 can simplify. 30 divided by 5 is 6. So y equals negative 4 over 5 times x minus 6. Okay, and that is in our slope-intercept form. Let's look at one more before I let you work on your own. So let's look at number 5. We have 4x minus y equals 0. Okay, so we're going to get y by itself, so we want to subtract 4x from both sides. Okay, so 4x minus 4x cancels out. We have negative y equals negative 4x. You don't have to write plus 0. It's the same as not writing anything. So now we got to get rid of this negative sign. So to do that, we divide by negative 1 on both sides. Okay, so we get y equals 4x. Okay, so you're right. We don't have a number over here that says that shows us where our slope or our y-intercept is. Okay, we could write plus 0, and our y-intercept would be at 0. But it's given that if you don't have that, if that's gone, that your y-intercept is at 0. So this is in slope-intercept form. You are finished with the problem at this point. You can include the 0, or you can leave it off. It's up to you. Okay, so y equals 4x is an acceptable answer. At this point, if you're feeling pretty confident, I want you to go ahead and finish up the problems on this front page. If you need more help, then there will be another video that you can watch to get the more help on working out these problems.